everyone. We are doing roasted fall veggies today. I have got carrots, I have got squash, I've got broccoli, beets, cabbage. We're going to roast all of that up with different flavors so that I can prep meals for the whole week based on all of these veggies. I love a good fall veggie, and I'm just going to pair them with some herbed garlic salt, some SPG, some donaires, some sweet garlic chicken, and even some pumpkin pie mix to give us some delicious fall veggies. Okay, so let's start with the one that's beeping at me here. So I did my cabbage. I chopped that up earlier. Whoops, I need a mixing spoon. So I put my cabbage in my steamer for 5 minutes because I want to get my cabbage soft enough that it is going to cook up really fast in the air fryer. Whoops. Ooh. Hey, Aunt Sandy. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to see if my cabbage is soft enough. Yeah, it's soft enough. So now I'm just going to hit it with a little olive oil. Olive oil is good for you. Don't be stingy with the olive oil. Okay, there we go. Got to get that nice and oiled. Now, there's so many different things you can put on this. When we had the big storm here, Hurricane Fiona, I got rid of my storm chips and I actually ate like air fried cabbage. Oh my gosh, like extraordinary. I am so in love with air fried cabbage. One of my favorite things on there is donair, but I'm going to use the donair on the broccoli. So I want your suggestions of what I could put on my cabbage. What would you put on cabbage? Maybe I'll do something simple like an SPG or just an herbed garlic salt. But I want to hear what you would put on your cabbage. So I pre-steamed it. Now I'm going to air fry it. What would you put on it? Let me get rid of that. So I'm going to do my broccoli while I wait for your suggestions. Because it's a lot of cabbage, it's going to be the base for a lot of meals. So probably I'll go with an SPG. So I'm actually just massaging the oil right into the broccoli because I want the broccoli to get a really good crisp. So this is how come I'm doing deep oil massage because I really want that spice to stick everywhere and get that nice crispy feeling. So I'm going to just sprinkle that. Give that a little sprinkle with donair. So, you can make a donair or you can just use it for the best roasted veggies ever. I have never had anybody not go nuts for this roasted donair when I make it. So that's just going to go right into the air fryer like that. Okay, yum, yum. Oh, there's a few little pieces. Mm. Oh, I always massage my broccoli. You mean I don't have to? Mm. Just raw. Just put your donair in some broccoli and eat it raw. Okay, so I've got a little bit of donair flake there. I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, I heard a suggestion of poco picante. I will add a little heat to it. I think I'm going to go in with SPG, have it be the neutral base to go with all of my bowls. Well, you know what? I have to do a test now. The next time I get broccoli, I'm going to do a rub in and a no rub in and cook them side by side in my air fryer and see if it makes a difference because maybe I can save a step. Okay, I put a lot of SPG on that. Let me taste that. Okay, here's the deal. If it tastes salty before I roast it, it's going to be too salty. So you don't want it to taste salty before you roast it. You want to just be able to kind of hear the taste, feel the salt way at the back, but it's not there yet. That's the perfect salt before you roast. Okay, so now this is going to be my backup for the air fryer. Let me put my broccoli in. Okay, so this one is going to sit and wait. Let's get my carrot peeled. We can get those going in the steamer. Hey, little Mary. Okay, let's go in with the peels. Now, here's the thing. I was doing food prep at my mom's house. She had a peeler with a red handle. You all probably know the brand, common brand. I was ready to lose my mind. The first thing I did when I got home is ship her one of these. This for $8 is seriously the best peeler you're ever going to own. You notice the peels are not getting stuck. Like that's the most annoying thing when you have to like peel and then shake, peel, shake. Ah, don't do that. Just get one of these for $8. If you've not added it to an order, you're going to be very thankful. You're going to message me how happy you are when you get one of these. I promise you. Okay, so I'm going to be just like chunky with my carrots because I'm roasting them. I'm not going to spend any extra effort. So I'm just going to steam these up right now. I'm going to give them about a 4-minute steam to start them because carrots take a really long time to roast. And I want all the stuff in the oven for the shortest amount of time. Okay, so we're going to go in for 4 minutes in our steamer. Okay, so let's prep everything else. Now, I'm going to do the beets last because my hands are going to turn color. So what I have some squash that is a squash that I grew. Now, I did not grow this squash this summer. I grew this last summer because if you harvest and store your squash properly, they will last, okay? Here's another one. I moved across the country with 7 squash in my car. These are a delicata squash that I harvest. You harvest them when the stem is brown, and then you cure them in a window for about 2 weeks in a hot sunny window or a south-facing window. It won't always be hot and sunny, but in a south-facing window. And then they are like a rock. Like I cannot cut into this with a knife because it has got such a sealed crust on it, and I can probably store it for another year. So I washed them and I put them in a window. Okay. Now, in order to cut this, I actually had to microwave the other ones. So I had to microwave them for about 5 minutes before my freshly sharpened cleaver could go through them. I could have microwaved them for 10 and I would have got through it easily. But this is amazing. Okay. So you can store squash long term. It's so cool. Now, all I did is I just have the squash. I've just cut little lines through it. Okay, I've got little lines cut my squash, and I'm just going to oil them down. Now, I could use like a little, spreader, but why not? I have hands. Why dirty another tool when my hands are already dirty and getting involved in the food? So I'm just putting a nice little olive oil dressing, giving these guys a little rub down. Now, what would you put on your squash? We're going to do 2 different flavors. Let me just put this right in the towel here. That'll get rid of that. Okay. Now, one of my favorite things to put on a squash and roast it is sweet garlic chicken. So we could totally do some of that. But you know what I want to do today? I kind of just want to turn this into dessert. A little bit dessert-like. So I'm going to do most of this with just pumpkin pie mix. That's all I'm doing. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'll let you know. So we're going to do that. We're going to put a nice little coating of the pumpkin pie mix on there. Because, I could make a pie with this. Why can't I? Put a little bit on that one. Oh my gosh, I just saw churro. Now I kind of don't want to do something savory. I kind of want to do churro. Hang on. Churro. Churro is amazing. One of my favorite things. So we're just going to do that last piece with churro. Thank you, Mary. Getting the churro out for me. Now, I could open the little shaker top, but seriously, it's kind of hard to open sometimes. So it's just easier to do that. Now, I forgot to turn my oven on. What kind of cooking show am I? I guess the good thing about this is I can start this into my oven when it's cool and it's not going to get too burnt because anything that's like sweet like that on the top can burn faster. Okay, so that's going to go in there. Now, let's finish our veggies. We've got these guys to do. Now, I want to show you what I have here, actually. Let's do this. This is chicken food because, why wouldn't the chickens eat really well? So I just use all my leftover veggie scraps. These are like worms for the chicken. So we're just going to cook that up in a second. And then it's going to be a lot easier for the chickens to eat. Sometimes I add some oats or some different grains to it when I cook it up for them. Of course, a little oil on it is good for their diets. They love it cooked up with little eggs. So this is basically all my veggie scraps that I could make soup with. Instead, I'm going to make chicken food with. So that's just going to sit there. Here we go. This was our carrots. So I just wanted to give our carrots a little bit of a head start. I'm going to take them out of here, take them out of that moisture that they've created. There we go. So these were a 4-minute head start for the carrots. And then they can go in and they will roast at the same time as the other veggies. So carrots. What are you guys going to put on carrots? Let's go with herbed garlic salt. One of my favorites, herbed garlic salt there on my carrots. And again, if it tastes too salty, I'm going to rinse it before I cook it because it would just be horrible. Too salty. Okay, so I just hit those with a splash of water. Mix again. Taste. I took too much off. There, okay. Carrots are ready for the cookie sheet. Let's put the chicken food in and get that cooking. There we go with the chicken food. I'm going to go with about 3 minutes for the chicken food. Now I'm chopping up beets. I'm not going to be eating beets today, but I'm going to be having those in a couple of days. What do I want to do? I want to do cubes. So I'm going to get these ready, and I'm going to pre-steam them. Yeah, I think I'll probably even roast them, but they'll take a little bit longer because I won't have them in as fast as my carrots were, but they'll be right behind. I am doing enough veggies that I kind of don't have to do any other veggies this week. And I could just throw a protein with this, throw it in a salad bowl, do anything with it in various ways. So I've got so many eggs coming from the chickens that I can just throw. This is like the base of a fried egg breakfast. Okay, so we've got, of course, got to have a good sharp knife for chopping your beets, or else they're going to be problematic. These are fresh Newfoundland beets. You know, one of the reasons I live in Nova Scotia rather than Newfoundland is because Newfoundland doesn't have the same gardening season, but what they can grow is the best you're going to get anywhere. You can't get better beets or cabbage than is grown in places like Newfoundland and the Yukon because they really like those cooler temperatures. Okay, so that's done. Those are going to go in the steamer as soon as I get it empty. So we've got our carrots here. Now that doesn't feel like enough carrots. I really should have had way more carrots, but it was 4 carrots, so it seemed like a lot. So there we go. We're going to get our cabbage out here. So both of these were pre-steamed. I started pre-steaming my roasted veggies in the summer in the Okanagan when it was too hot to turn on the oven. And now I still do it because I get to eat it faster. And yeah, I really love a good cooked veggie, especially a cabbage. They're so much easier to digest. Okay, so that's going to go into our oven here. We have got not really anything on the carrots. No, we do. We have herbed garlic salt on the carrots. We have got SPG on the cabbage. We have got apple pie and churro on the squash. Let's check our beets. Nope, these are not beets. This is broccoli. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. You have to go do this. You have to. Like, stop whatever you're doing. Go get some broccoli. Put some oil on it. Put some donair on it. And put it in the air fryer for 9 minutes. And you're going to thank me. Now, the bad thing is that I like to eat it when it's hot and crispy, so I gotta go. So, I'm trying to get this chewed. I'm so sorry. Okay. You should never under chew your food. Now, we are going in here with some Greek dressing. I'm going to sort of pull out too much. I don't want to get too much. So these are going to be a Greek beet. Okay, they've just got some oil. These are going to get pre-steamed and then they are going to go into the oven and roast with everything else. So we made our chicken food from all of my leftovers. Could have also just added water to it and called it a veggie stock. What am I doing here? Okay, beets. We're going to go 4 minutes. So those beets will be nice and soft. They'll fry up real quick. So we used some Greek, we used some donair, we used apple pie or pumpkin pie right on our squash. We have got chicken food. Hey, Angela! And I've got my cabbage. Now, I'll be eating these same cabbages for weeks, weeks and weeks and weeks. So tonight, I'm going to put this back in my produce saver. So here's a cool story. So I went to, okay, I got home. I bought a bunch of groceries right as I got home from Mexico. And then I got COVID. And I really couldn't eat for like a week. I was just not doing well. I was barely functioning. I was eating, but not well. So then I'd already had my celery around for a week. And you know how great celery is when it sits around for a long time. So I cut the brown parts off my celery and I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in my produce saver and I'm just going to take it with me. I took it with me to Newfoundland and I forgot about it in my mom's fridge in Newfoundland. And on my way home from Newfoundland, I ate the celery. So it was already a week old before it hit the produce saver. I was at my mom's for 10 days. And after 10 days of it being in a container, in one of these magical things, I could still eat the celery that normally, like, it would be in my fridge for about 10 days total. And then I would be opening the bag and dumping it into the compost. So these things are everything. If you don't have a set, get a set, host a class, get multiple half price sets, but you want these. Okay, so we have got that. Oh, we've got the broccoli. Let me show you the broccoli. I'm going to bring it over to you, okay? Oh, but I should not do it with my hand like that. That was just silly. Okay. Let's do it like this, shall we? So let me just hold up some pieces. I mean, look, it's crispy but not burnt. It's just like, who's done it? Show of hands, who's done this? Let's just check our pie. I'm going to eat one more piece. Pour out, please. Okay. So our toppings are just starting to melt in. And we're going to just let this cook through. And it's not going to be pie. It's just going to be squash roasted with pumpkin pie seasoning and churro, wherever churro went, and churro seasoning. And how yummy is that going to be just to sit and eat that with a spoon? Maybe put a dollop coconut cream on top. Hell yeah. All right. So I got to go now because I have a whole thing of broccoli to eat. I'm going to eat that whole thing before it's no longer crispy. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.